When I unboxed the Enbrighten Wi-Fi Café lights, I was blown away by the quality of construction. So much so that this is what I said when I opened the box. Oh. Whoa. From that moment, I was sure that I wanted to install these. They had incredible acrylic lights with bubbles in them, the promise of amazing effects, and I could even extend them with additional units in the future. But this wasn't a light bulb I could twist in, and I had to seriously plan this out because they were heavy, physically large, and relatively complex smart lights from Jasco. So I started by measuring the potential paths that these could take outside my home, and because they are going to be such a focal point, I wanted to get them overhead. This meant that I had to plan out a system to mount them, and I definitely ran into some things you'll want to know before you head out and purchase these. Hello Automators, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Brian from Automate Your Life, and I'm going to automate your life by showing you some really interesting LED smart light products from Jasco, who did sponsor today's video, but actually they only did that after you guys saw me unbox the product. So many of you asked that I reached out to Jasco, and they did decide to help me continue to produce these kinds of reviews on YouTube. As always though, that doesn't mean it's a positive review, just that it shows up on our channel now. To get these overhead where I thought they would show the best, I had to build some height onto a deck that I don't own. That meant I had to keep things pretty lean when it came to the construction side of things, and with them weighing a lot because of the heavy construction materials being used, this was a delicate balance. What I did was I purchased these green metal fence stakes. They are tall enough that they give me a foot or so above everybody's head, unless they're shack, and that's even with the fact that the lights themselves hang about 6 inches down from the cabling. I also bought hooks, but I had the folks at Home Depot cut off part of the loop because I obviously couldn't feed the cable through with the way these are built, so they cut off just enough that I could screw these into the fence stakes and then place both a washer and a nut on the back to tighten things down. So I built all of that in my living room 3 times, got my drill, grabbed my size 12 by 2 inch wood screws, and went out to my deck. Once there, I used a single screw on the bottom of those metal stakes, of course choosing the best location in the deck for that screw to go in to give me maximum strength with the fewest screws used. And I'm doing this all while trying to film, so there were moments like this. Ooh. But once the 3 stakes were up, I began at the outlet, and while I had already kind of planned out my run, I followed the instructions pretty clearly that said to make sure that I didn't pull too hard up on my outlet. Before I went too far, I had to plan how I was going to mount the giant transformer / controller for these LED lights. I thought leaving that hanging wasn't going to work very well, and it would just be ugly. The good news is Jasco gives us a couple of mounting holes for this piece because it is quite heavy, and the construction, again, is absolutely amazing. I'm not worried about how this will survive outdoors, and I think a T-Rex could have a chomp down on this thing and it would still survive. So I put another 12 by 2 screw into the deck, bringing my total to 4, and pushed the transformer onto it, and it mounted perfectly. I could pull it off if I wanted to, but it's pretty stable, and now there's no physical loading on my outlet. Then I began the very quick and easy process of pulling the lights over the hooks and on my 3 stakes, and I'm left with just a little extra cable at the end. It feels like success, but my kid rightly says that someone could pull all of that down in about 3 seconds and take it with them. So I purchased a couple of metal zip ties to keep everything running together nicely and make the final product look a little cleaner. It'll hopefully stop hooligans too, since I don't have a fence. Now, because these are connected to my home's 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, I had to make sure that my Wi-Fi was going to be strong wherever I installed these. And the good news is I have a mesh node fairly close to these. If you're imagining your own installation, remember that the Wi-Fi component is in that big transformer, so don't stick that on a big metal box and hope for those to stay connected. Not that they've been a problem at all in terms of connectivity. In fact, in order to make sure that things were going to be good, I had previously done 2 things before erecting all of this construction. I went out back and I put my phone near the spot where I thought I would be mounting that transformer. I generally surveyed the area with this Wi-Fi Man app to make sure that I wasn't going to lose Wi-Fi and that the signal strength was above minus 70 dBm. I set these up inside the Enbrighten app and had put these lights just inside my door for a few days, and that allowed me to make sure they stayed connected and also gave me some time to play with the app. Prepping this way meant that setup in the app was easy, quick, and happened within seconds. You just plug in the lights, open the Enbrighten app, add a new device, and it should find the lights. I didn't struggle with that, but if you do, just get these closer to your router or Wi-Fi access point, and if you're still having trouble, take a few things off your Wi-Fi for the setup process. The app is what you would call a Smart Life clone. That's because these lights have been put together in partnership with Tuya. That means you could actually set them up with the Smart Life app, but I wouldn't suggest doing that because the Enbrighten app is easy to use and it also gives you some really custom features. The real power in this app is the custom display that you get when you go in to control these lights. There are many pre-created modes that can be used just by tapping on them. But as soon as I saw the word new next to all of these modes that I could pick from, I got pretty excited. I started to play with the set of colors, the dimming level, and even the bass effect that I could apply to the lights. Sadly, the modes that I created did not show up for use with Google, Amazon, or in SmartThings, but I'll explain more about controlling with those platforms in a bit. The other thing that is so powerful is in the main control screen for your lights, where I found that this little button over on the side that says My Lights was so powerful. When I tapped into this, I found a map of the cafe lights that I could turn off individual lights, which I used right away because I didn't love the lights being on that were up against the side of my home. Then I could pick 1, 2, or 3 colors that I wanted to display, and as soon as I did that and hit save, I could then pick the colors I wanted to use. Then it would automatically alternate those colors and I could dim or brighten the whole set. In terms of automation features, you have both a scheduling feature, which is actually what I've used for most of the time, and the countdown feature, which isn't very useful because it's just to turn them off when they've been turned on. You can create automations in the app too, but without many sensors in that app, those automations aren't very useful. Again, this is where the other platforms come in and become important. But one of the really great features of these is that at the end of the cable is another plug-in. This means that you can plug a second or a third or a ton of sets into one outlet in your wall. It also means that you can extend them, and it actually says up to 750 feet or something crazy like that. What happens in the app at that point is you'll set up each of them as an individual product, but then you can group them to control them all at once. Sadly, the groups don't come into Amazon or Google or SmartThings, and I've already said that the new modes that you create don't come in either. So there is a bit of work you have to do to automate these within those platforms. I think any of you that have used SmartThings in the past know that things are pretty disappointing when we talk about controlling lights, and these are fairly disappointing because yes, you can turn them on and off, but there is no color or mode or effect control and no groups. So that's where actually Google and Amazon become more impressive as control options for these lights, as they give you access to most of those features. Amazon allows you to select the different modes or effects in app, in routines, or by voice, and this is probably the most comprehensive way that you can control these today. Google gives us all the voice control methods, but with less routine options today. It's really just another scheduling tool, and I don't find it all that useful to pair, except for on and off requests. Cafe lights to blue. Cafe lights to wave chase.
Okay.
Cafe lights to strobe.
Okay.
Cafe lights to fade. Cafe lights to rainbow. cafe lights to twinkle. As I have lived with these for months now, I have run into a few drawbacks or concerns that I would like to share with you, and it's not that I haven't enjoyed these thoroughly, but it is very important for me to tell you what you could run into. I initially thought that if you were to break one of these acrylic bulbs, which would be very hard to do, you'd have no way to replace them. However, Jasco told me that you could send for a replacement and the bulbs screw right off. Come to think of it, that's actually not a drawback, is it? They don't currently connect to Apple HomeKit, and I asked about future Matter support, and it doesn't sound like there will be any guarantee anytime soon on that, as Jasco has said they're still evaluating what they want to do there. The scenes from the Enbrighten app do come across to Amazon, Google, and SmartThings, but there are some things that Jasco needs to do better here. That's because the scenes are just on or off on any of your devices in the Enbrighten app. If they included more options in the scenes, this would make SmartThings control much better. Otherwise, these are an incredible centerpiece to have on your deck, and the fantastic construction is something that I cannot stress enough. I absolutely hate getting products that are smart but are made poorly and won't last. This is a product that I think will easily last 10 years in almost every situation, and if you treat them well, they could probably go 25 years. And they are essentially infinitely expandable as they have that plug at the end. So if your home grows or your patio even grows, then you're going to be able to purchase new ones and expand over time. So check out the links below, which will take you to purchase some of these. Otherwise, thanks for watching today, and of course, don't hate, automate.